picture this, right? You're just playing Minecraft Xbox 360 edition. You're just playing it, having a grand old time, but you have that feeling that you're being watched, right? You can't like explain where that feeling is coming from, but you just feel like you're not the only one in the world. And to your surprise, when you're just randomly chopping down a tree, you run into what you don't want to realize is that you're not just the only person in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to what I call the HEROBRINE experience. So, first and foremost, this video is not scripted at all. As a matter of fact, I'm kind of just rambling along as it goes along because I want you to feel like a natural sort of way in this video. And I feel like scripted videos, while they do the job in a certain way, I feel like I should just be completely natural and I should make up the script as I go along. So there's this mod called From the Fog, and it is basically the butter to the bread, and we'll talk about the bread here in a minute. But From the Fog is, in my opinion, probably the best HEROBRINE mod that you can find really anywhere. It's very simple. It's not like a HEROBRINE boss fight from HEROBRINE's Mansion or anything. He doesn't go and burn down your house, but it is a very configurable mod, and you can set him to burn down your house if you want to. It is simply just an atmospheric mod. You see, he kind of just shows up, he'll scare you. It got me a couple times, as you'll see in this video, and that is basically what makes HEROBRINE HEROBRINE. He's not necessarily supposed to be this overwhelming threat that constantly wants to kill you and stuff. He's just there to creep you out and kind of make your life a living hell sometimes. And that is why this mod is very good in my opinion. Now you'll also notice that in this video, it looks like I'm playing Minecraft 360 edition. Let's talk about that. So there is also a mod out there that is called Legacy 4J, and I am completely not doing the mod justice when I'm going to explain to it. I am going to link a video in the description, and it is just a perfect rundown, and this is where I got the mod from. I also got From the Fog from the librarian. I'm going to link that video as well, but please check it out. And these two mods together create probably the most comfortable feeling scary game that I've ever played in my life. It is very weird to explain. If you did go through that phase where you thought HEROBRINE was real and you're playing on Xbox 360 and you were always afraid of him, please do try to combine these mods together. I will link both the mods into the description as well as the videos where I got them from. So without further ado, I am going to tell you about what happened. Alright, welcome to a Minecraft video. Yep, it's your boy, Mr. Pooshman. So, the start of the world begins with me spawning into a birch forest, and as you can tell, this is almost an exact recreation of how it looked on the Xbox 360, which is very, very cool. So, I began just playing, and I was just talking around. I was trying to get myself really immersed into it, and then I randomly stumbled across a mossy stone pyramid. Very strange. Now at the time, I didn't know just what the mod had to, show. I only watched a little bit of the librarian's video before installing the mod, and it was very creepy to find, and it did give me that sense of not being alone in the world, and that's something that the mod does very well. So I continue to do what I do. I get some coal, kill some animals, and then I stumble across a village, which I of course loot for all of the bread because that bread carries me for the first half of it, and that's pretty cool. And then I finally stumble across the place that I want to call home. So I need to get some trees to start building my house, and then it finally happens. Cool. I had become so immersed in the mod that it completely took me off guard seeing HEROBRINE. That scared the ever-living shit out of me. I had to step away for a minute. What the crap was that. So I thought that would be it for a little while. It did take a little bit for Herobrine to finally show up in the world, but then this happened. I think I'm going to... So after ignoring the second Herobrine sighting, I decided to work on my base a little bit more, and then you know who popped up. The feeling of seeing Herobrine in a version of the game like this is both magical and terrifying at the same time, as for like the kid in my soul finally gets to feel that feeling that he for some reason dreaded but also always wanted to feel, and that is to see Herobrine in his survival world. But pushing those emotions aside, I pushed on and I continued to build my, well, very early 2010s house, obviously. I decided to go with this theme of building because I wanted to feel kind of like how I used to build back in the day. They were very simple builds. If my brother is here, he could probably tell you all about them. But I can definitely build better than this. Don't worry, don't roast me, please. Also, a little habit I picked up while playing this mod is that I will occasionally check behind my shoulder and go into the second and third person to make sure nothing is behind me. And actually, later on in the video, I do in fact catch somebody watching me when I'm switching to the second person. So that's just excellent on the mod's part because it has me so on edge that I am periodically checking to make sure I'm not being watched. I'm going to have a separated room that has no windows so that when I go to sleep, this bitch cannot come after me. So I was in a call with my friend when this was being recorded also because he called me, and it came into my mind that maybe I should build my room with no windows so that he can't peer into them, as in multiple Herobrine sightings, he's usually looking at you through a window. And wouldn't you know it, when I finally get the house done, guess who decides to give a nice little visit? Yeah, I feel like I... Whoa.
Go smack what?
Oh my god!
What?
Oh my god!
Yo,
Dude!
the fact that bro actually did something this time instead
Dude,
of he
looked at me. Oh my god! He looked at me through the freaking window and he stood his ground. And then
as soon as you crossed to the door, you just disappeared.
I lost sight of him for a minute and I see a sign in his steps. Like, what the freaking crap? So as it turns out, Herobrine can do just a little bit more than just look at you in this mod. And I don't know if you can tell by mine and my friend's reaction, but holy Jesus, did this scare the absolute crap out of me. Needless to say, I renovated his sign and I made sure to let him know who's the boss around here. While going into the bed for the night, I couldn't help but imagine the image of Herobrine standing at the foot of the bed as I went to sleep. But it didn't happen. Hey, Junior.
Yes. Oh shit.
Up to this point, he has only shown up for almost like a second on the screen, but seeing him just standing still and not doing anything made him even more creepy. He's not supposed to be there. He doesn't look right. He is not supposed to be in this game.
What?
And with one tilt of the controller, he has vanished once more. As a matter of fact, that was the last time I saw Herobrine for the first play session, that is. I got some farms set up, I went back to the village and got more bread. I explored a massive cave underneath my house, and I mysteriously found a redstone torch setting underneath my house. But I went on and I got some diamonds and I made a pickaxe. And yeah, that was kind of it. I went to the nether for a second, but it was really nothing too crazy. But that was the end of the first play session. Is there a fortress over here? I don't think so. Someone just summoned the Wither in. Ah! What the f- play session didn't start off with nothing good. As you saw, I kind of died in the nether. My goal for this was to try to get a sustainable food source because I had lost all my bread and the village didn't have any bread. So I decided to try to get some cows and sheep and, I lured them into my house instead of building, a fenced off area. And, I go to sleep and... Oh, you're in my house! So now HEROBRINE is invading my home, which is eliminating all sorts of comfort that I had with the house. As I built the house to keep him out and to have a safe space, but knowing that he can just now enter all willy-nilly makes it not as safe as before. But anyways, I realized that I have basically no resources now, so I decided to go back down into the sinkhole that is underneath my house, and while trying to find diamonds, like I mentioned prior, I like to check second person and turn behind me to make sure no one's watching me. And the mod played right into that fear and decided to have HEROBRINE pop up while in the second person. And that is terrifying to me while playing because he's kind of feeding into my fears. And I don't know if that's a purposeful feature, but it is. If it is insanely crazy. But I decide to push forward, ignoring HEROBRINE, and I go and get some more ores, and I get a couple more diamonds, and it took a little bit, but we're just going to shorten it. I got a lot of diamonds, and I got gold for a certain project that I want to build in this world later on. Altogether, not too bad of a mining trip, probably the most successful yet. And I go back to my base, and I'm starting smelting, and then I notice something out of the corner of my eye, which I definitely didn't place. After that, I decided to fix the animal in my house situation by finally building a fenced off area, and I'm finally going to reveal what that gold was used for, and we are going to attempt to create a HEROBRINE spawner. The 3x3 gold with the netherrack on top and the redstone torches. But that is a very expensive project because that takes about 8 gold blocks, and that's a lot of gold, and we don't really have the resources for that right now. So I continue to fix up the crops, I breed the animals, and nothing too weird happens. Or so it may seem. Ignoring what I just witnessed, I fix up the house a little bit more, and I start to get really tired in real life, and I decided to end this play session early with placing down the 3 birch signs that randomly appeared in my inventory with the best message: live, laugh, love.
Alright, and if you know who HEROBRINE is, we're getting rid of the pressure plate. So, and we can show you where the TNT is. You see it? And we found another sign that said "Turn back now." I should do that. Saw this glowing, and then we saw this netherrack bridge on fire across the lava. These gold blocks and glowstone. I'll save the rest on YouTube.
Session 3 starting off with a very interesting approach. So during this play session, I figured out that I don't really have a lot of coal and iron, so I decided to go back down into the sinkhole once again. And with the start of the session, I already knew I was in for a wild ride this time. So I did what I usually do, and I fixed up the house a little bit more. I plant some crops and stuff, breed my animals, and have a sustainable resource of food. I also go to the pillager outpost and I get a goat horn, and I don't usually get these a lot, so they're pretty cool. I also stole the dummies or scarecrows, whatever they are, from the pillager outpost to hopefully ward off HEROBRINE in the long run, but yeah, that didn't work yet. I also began construction on the enchantment table room in a little basement area just so I can get enchants later on in the game. However, I am in lack of resources, kind of, and I'm waiting on all the cows to grow up so I can breed them even more, so I decided to go back down into the sinkhole to once again try to get just a little bit more resources. However, this time when I went down there, it was scarily quiet. It was very unnerving to kind of go down there, because I didn't see HEROBRINE for the most part of the entire thing. Usually he'll pop up like around the 5-minute mark of me being down there, but it was just dead quiet, and that was kind of scary. Editor's note here, I didn't even see that while I was playing. Fun fact, even though he was literally right in front of me, I did not notice HEROBRINE right there, so that is kind of funny. But I found 2 spawners, and I even got an enchanted god apple. Whoa, that's freaking cool. So, yeah, as I'm leaving, finally, that silence is broken. After that, I finally go home, and, just when I start to feel safe, and those pale white eyes are looking at me through my window. Now, I take a real good look at him, and I try to jump out of the door to get him, but I hit the wall and he's gone. It's almost like every time I'm so close to catching him, he just vanishes. But alas, that is where the 3rd session ends.